Hey, you guys, so this is episode 2 of Ugh, You're So Good, and we had the first half of the conversation you're about to hear on episode 1. So if you haven't listened to episode 1, go do that. And here we go.
So good. How did you do it? How did you do it? You're so good.
Okay, my question is what I asked you earlier, which is obviously like the obvious thing that you're great at is singing. You're like a blatantly amazing singer.
Thank you.
And that's like probably what you're most famous for. But what do you feel like your greatest talent is?
Honestly, I feel like singing is a strong talent of mine, but I just like know 100 singers who just, I'm not even being self-deprecating, just technically are more proficient at singing than me. So I genuinely feel like my strongest talent is, I do feel like I'm just creative. I feel like I know what people are going to like. I feel like I know how to create emotion in a song, or I know how to create a product that someone's gonna be like, oh shit,
Yeah.
I love this. I love that.
Oh, sorry.
No, go. I had nothing to say.
I was gonna compliment you. I feel like you're like Ryan Seacrest was like a famous like, what is that called? When you're
producer?
like first American Idol, he's like the MC, whatever it's called, host. Thank you, Jesus. And like that's what he was first famous for. But he's really like a brilliant producer and like low key. How much money has he made on the Kardashians? Like it's crazy,
I
right?
know the fact that he produces that.
It's
crazy.
amazing. And I actually, Taddy, my best friend, and I talked about this for years. How I feel like you're the same. I feel like you're like.
Okay,
like,
wow, thank you.
I know, honey. I feel like obviously you're an amazing musician and like you're a singer and that's like step 1 for you. But I feel like you're like a visionary. I feel like you're a producer.
This is literally giving me chills. You're making me so happy.
And you're gonna like make all sorts of things. Like you're just like, because you're always so good at projects. Like you always have all these like new ideas and new projects.
Yeah,
and
thank you.
like making them happen. So
Thank you for saying that.
You're welcome.
That's really sweet. What would you say you were?
Mine is?
Yeah.
I think mine is I'm good at my like the one thing I feel like I was actually born with that's just natural is like I'm good at getting good at something.
Yes, you work so hard. You'll sing Love on Top every single
will.
day for 2 years until you can get every single key changed. That's pretty dope.
Yeah, I feel like I'm like understand what it takes to get from A to B. But the only problem with that is I actually have to really, really be excited by it and like care. If I don't care, I could give up. I don't care. Like I do not care that I'll never play. Like I'll never be good at sports. Like that, I literally could. I don't care.
Yeah.
I don't feel sad about it.
And working hard at something you don't care about is like literally brutal.
It's
like
brutal.
every minute feels like
Brutal.
an hour.
But if I'm excited about it, like it's like with songwriting. Like I don't think I always had like a ability to write songs. Like I'm musical, but I wrote like hundreds until I figured out how to write them. Like now I think I'm a good songwriter, but I don't think I was just like naturally a good songwriter. I think I was naturally good at working hard.
Right.
And so I was able to.
And how did you develop that work ethic? Was it your parents, or is it just naturally in you?
That's my dad. I mean, he is that way. That's a good question. Whoa, I love when we get serious.
Yeah, let's get into it. Nitty gritty, honey. Okay, cheers.
Cheers. I'm gonna do like another quarter of this because I'm afraid. I think it's my dad. I think it's like we just grew up with like you just work hard. That was just the vibe.
It was
always.
just a thing.
Oh my God, I have this really vivid memory actually of wanting to like watch a TV show with my parents. I was probably like 9, and my dad said he was like, they weren't strict. Like I never got grounded. We didn't have like serious rules. It was more just like it's up to you. Like if you want to do this, like this is what you have to do. Like suffer your own consequences. Like that was the vibe in the house.
Yeah.
Like we never got in trouble.
Same.
Yeah, which is really effective. But I remember being like 9 or 10 years old, and I was like in piano lessons, and I had really small hands, and my teacher was making me literally squeeze a tongs, like literally like just like a workout, like a squeeze of tongs, like for 100 times a night or something. I forget what it was. Like squeezing. I wish you guys could see my hands, but you get what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
And I remember I was trying to like sit with my parents to watch the TV show. My dad's like, you can watch it, but not till you do. You can either just go to sleep
tongue squeezes
or go do the tongue squeezes. And I was like, like threw a fit, like scream, but like eventually I was downstairs like fucking doing the tongue squeezes. So like
I cannot deal with this story. No. I mean, I had the same type of thing though. My parents would be like, I mean, if you don't do your homework, you're getting in a lot of trouble, but
Right.
like you do what you want. It was kind of like,
Suffer your own consequences.
Exactly. And then I just like developed this anxiety.
Yeah.
I literally couldn't fall asleep unless I did my homework.
Yeah, no, totally same. And it's like the same reason I text you 1,000 times being like, have we scheduled this person for the podcast? Because I can't help myself.
I know. It's also the cutest thing because she's always like, am I annoying the shit out of you? I was like, literally 0%.
No, I literally sent you a voice memo today being like, I'm sorry that I sucked all the fun out of this podcast.
I was like, you made it more fun. Song you could listen to every single day and not get tired.
I think X Factor by Lauryn Hill.
Work. What a choice.
Because it's perfect. It's like my literal favorite voice. Like literally my favorite moment of all singing ever is "You Can't Run Away."
That was really pretty.
Sounds I got oh baby. That literal moment is like my favorite moment of
Vocal
singing I've ever
line
heard.
ever. Wow.
Because her heart, like she just like has like every single note is like dripping with emotion, which is like all I need.
She's like felt shit.
Yes. So
Dude,
that song
that
tells
album
me.
is
The best.
one of the best of all time.
I mean, it's like unbelievable. That's not I listen to forever. I also could listen to Dreams by Fleetwood Mac probably every day.
I have not heard that.
Yes, you have.
I have not. I'm an uncultured
Thunder
swine.
only happens when it's raining. You've heard this song.
I might have. I'm stressed out.
please. Oh, now here you go again. You say.
You'd
I'll make you a
recognize it.
playlist.
I'm just like distracted by how pretty it is.
Oh my god! Thank you.
I don't even know what mine would be. I mean, I want to say Halo because it's like my most played
yeah.
song. But, well, yeah, definitely. That would be one I could listen to every day.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think of like something Jasmine.
Oh my
I can listen to
God.
Jasmine on repeat forever. All her albums.
You got
everything.
me into Jasmine Sullivan because at first I was like, this feels painful when she
You
sings.
told me that. You're
At
like, it
first
hurts my throat, kind of.
It sounds like it hurts. But once I've gotten past the fact that like clearly it doesn't hurt because or else she'd be in like serious
Yeah,
trouble.
she's been like singing like that since she was 11.
Then I'm like, and then I watched that video of her singing, what is it, Home?
Home when she's 11.
Holy shit.
Everyone pause the podcast again and Google
Literally.
Jasmine Sullivan, 11 years old, Home.
It's like the most amazing vocal performance.
I'm not to be super dramatic, but it's my favorite video on the internet. I'm not kidding.
It's outrageous.
It's
Mine,
insane.
what's the Yeba one from So Far Sounds? My
Oh,
Mind.
my mind.
I mean, holy shit.
She's so good.
It is crazy how good she is. I'm like blown away.
I just met her like a couple weeks ago.
Oh, really?
And she was an angel.
nice.
She's
Well,
like the sweetest girl
I met
ever.
her. I met her at the BMI Awards this year, but I don't know if I was really talking to her or her dog because her dog was mad cute and I was
No
distracted.
way. What type of dog?
It's like one of those like half doodle things that's just so fucking cute. It hurts.
Quick question. Are we off the rails right now? We're talking about Yeba's dog. Okay, moving on. How many songs do you think you've written in your life?
Oh my God, in my life? Okay, well, first I have to tell you guys quickly about the album I wrote when I was in 4th grade with my friend Emily Tamor. Girl.
Oh, she
She's not-
sounds like a celebrity.
She's not a musician. I don't quite know what she's doing, but we wrote this album together under the pseudonym Hot Sizzlin' Sisters.
Oh my God. Okay, first of all, very creative and very fun. It's edgy.
Thank you. And I gotta be honest, I'm gonna sing you part of the song because I wrote this when I was 9 and I have not forgotten it. And it is
I'm gonna Instagram it as you
okay,
sing
great. So we recorded this whole album a cappella and it went, I see you walking down the street. I secretly like you. Your eyes are gleaming. Your arms are swaying ever
Wow.
so peacefully. I hear you looking for a girl. And I say, why not me? Why not
me? Hey,
why
a
not
hook.
me? What? I mean, literally,
Okay.
I wrote that like actually a million
that.
years ago.
Hey, how old are you?
9.
You're 9 years old and you're already a profound storyteller. That's pretty. That's some
Listen,
Emily Dickinson shit.
So if we're counting all those songs ever, I mean, I've probably written like 500 to 1,000, somewhere in that range.
Jesus.
Yeah, I bet.
That like blows me away. Okay.
Since I started writing for my since I started
Wait,
since
wait.
3 years ago.
Oh, you spent like 2 years writing a song.
I know.
every day.
I've written like 300 songs.
That's so cool and inspiring. I could never.
How many have you
also-
written?
I would say as a kid I wrote like 7. I remember one was called Distant Face and went, Distant Face. Catch my eye, walk over here, right over here. Yeah.
Distant Face.
Distant Face, yeah.
It's kind of cool.
It was sick. It's called Creativity. I was like 11. And then I wrote like 6 more. And then and that was it. And then I like didn't songwrite for a while because I was like, this is horrible. I hate songwriting.
Right.
But then we started writing for the Pentatonix project. I probably wrote 50 or 60 songs for that.
You're
and I
such a
started
good
to kind of love
songwriter.
it. Thank you.
You're
And then we wrote for
welcome.
the Superfruit album. I wrote 20 or 30 songs for that. So I would say 150
All right,
songs. I've
that's
written.
great. I mean,
Not
I think,
1,000.
I mean, I haven't written 1,000. I think you're probably. I gave a
dramatic.
wide range. I gave a 500
Yeah.
song range, so I don't really know. But I've written a ton.
I wish there was some way we could find out.
I know, because I used to also in preschool, I had no friends. It was like a time of life for me. That was tough.
Whoa,
And
dark.
I
Very triggering.
used to just like walk around making up songs. I remember. I'd be like,
Oh my God,
I
that's
remember
cool.
like walking around like singing what I saw. I'd be like, Billy with his blacks, whatever. Like I
There
was
was a
just,
song sorry, not to interrupt you. There was a song that you wrote in college that I really liked. It was like The City. Was that?
Oh my God, the city!
Yeah.
You guys. I mean, I don't even know if I want to shout this out, but it is probably still on the internet somewhere.
Oh my God, will you sing literally 1 second of it?
I think the only part I remember is in the city.
Yeah, I remember it too. I was always like, I'm on a journey. Oh my God. I wrote the weirdest songs in college. Do you remember that?
I don't remember
Do you remember a
any
single
of
song?
them.
No, you don't remember Respect You
my
All
God,
Night
yes!
Long.
I like
I'm gonna
that song.
respect you
That
till
was
morning
sexy.
comes. Yeah.
I'm sorry, that's hot.
Okay, whoa, thank you.
Okay.
An acapella group ended up covering it. But there was another song. I literally will probably cut this out of the podcast, but I thought I was being super edgy and like cool. And
Yeah.
and I like wrote the song called If You Touch My Girl, I'm gonna break your arms and then I'll break your legs and then I'll leave you dead. Yes, if you touch my girl, I'll burn your house down. Make you leave town, so don't touch my. What? This is 9 years ago. Well, and the thing is, I'm literally not even aggressive or violent.
If you touch my girl, I'm gonna burn your house down.
The thing is, one, I'm not aggressive. I've never been in a physical fight.
You don't like girls?
I definitely don't like girls. That's what I was telling you when I used to songwrite. I used to like try to paint a picture.
Oh my God, if you touch
Oh my girl, I'm gonna break your legs. Oh man, I'm gonna finish it and put it on iTunes.
Ooh, that killed me. Oh my
The
God.
city has 18,000 views on
Oh
it.
my God. Mark found it. Taddy took this photo to me at Gateway at USC. That was like in our
Gateway.
room.
That's where I wrote Break Your Arms.
Oh my God. Gateway is when Taddy and I realized, Taddy's my best friend who you probably, if you guys ever follow me on Instagram, is like the girl that looks like me that I Instagram daily. And we lived together for we lived together for like 7 or 8 years, something
Y'all are
crazy.
domestically partners.
For sure. And I remember at Gateway, that just reminded me, we lived in a room that was like the size of this table. Like it was tiny. We lived in a super small, whatever, college room.
Yeah.
And I remember we were sitting together watching Portia de Rossi give an interview about how
That's Ellen's.
Ellen Jenner's wife, and how she always thought like Taddy and I were single for like ever. We were just like best friends and like didn't need a
Y'all
man.
were dating, but you didn't really label it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So no, that's related. So we were watching this and Portia was like, I always thought, I never dated people in my 20s, and I always thought I'm just focused on my career. And once my career is like together, then I'll find time for a relationship. And it turned out I was just a lesbian. And Taddy and I looked at each other and we're like, are we lesbians? And we're like,
And the answer's like maybe.
honestly, no. For like an hour, we're like talking about it. We're like, okay, are we just in denial? Like, what's going on? And
Yeah,
then
let's be
finally,
honest with ourselves.
We decided that we shared a tiny room for a year of college when we'd come back from like
Right.
frat parties, and we never made out.
Right.
Yeah.
We're pretty sure we're
yeah,
straight.
that's a sign.
Unfortunately, I would date her in a second.
I know.
mean,
Well, y'all's like energies and humor is so similar, and
Yeah, I
together
mean-
you're like a force.
I know we should really. We always talk about we'd be like a dope couple.
Just kiss once and like
And see. See.
What if you get butterflies?
Yeah.
You never know.
Okay, these are the 3 questions that no matter what mayhem we get into, we come back to.
Name them.
Well, let's just start with the first one.
We'll just start with the first one.
I'm gonna ask you, what does success look like for you? What does it mean to
Oh
you?
my God, this is like very serendipitous that we're talking about this because I've
Uh-huh.
been thinking about this a lot. I feel like I figured out what success is, and it's feeling fulfilled in what you're doing. That's definitely
Yep.
it. If you are genuinely happy and loving what you're doing, like authentically, like really tap into yourself. Are you loving it? Today, I recorded an 8-minute, 50-second song, and I was screaming at the top of my lungs the whole time. And normal normally I think people would like think that's horrible, but I was like, I love every second of this. I want this to be good. I'm lost in it. I'm passionate about it.
Yeah.
And I'm going to do it till it's done. And I'm
Yeah.
excited to see the finished product. When you feel that, that's success. Yeah, for sure.
I totally agree.
It's just being comfortable.
I feel like for me, it's like really similar. It's like if I'm making something authentic that feels like me, that I genuinely love,
Yeah.
and then having people connect to it and
Yes.
like relate to it and like live their own lives in it, that's success for me.
That-
And
and
I'd be
that's it.
lying.
That really
I'd be
is it.
lying if I was like, I don't care how many people like the more people who connect to it, the
Oh,
more
yeah, of course.
successful
You
I
want it to
feel.
blow up and go
But if I
viral,
make
of course.
But if I make something that I don't feel like is authentic, I don't feel proud of, I don't love, then it
Feels
doesn't
a little-
feel like success.
feels a little icky.
Like
Yeah.
almost like if somebody likes something that I did that I don't actually like, that doesn't feel successful to me. I'm actually kind of like, I hope you don't like that. I don't want you to, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So It
Wow.
has to be like authentic. It has to be something that I'm really actually proud of.
Definitely. I love that.
Yes.
Like Eponine. You really
Like
moved that one.
Eponine.
Okay, second question.
Second question is, what would you tell yourself at your lowest?
That's heavy.
Mm-hmm.
What would you tell yourself? You start.
I would tell myself, it's kind of like what we said earlier. I would say that you are in this moment becoming a better person, a better
Yeah.
artist, a more interesting artist. You're becoming a better friend. It's like I said, you don't want to be that one bitch who like didn't feel pain. Like
Yeah.
pain is so useful. And I didn't know that until I went through it. But if I had never gone through heartbreak or music
Yeah.
heartbreak, like label shit, if I hadn't gone through all of that, I would be a much less interesting artist. I wouldn't be as empathetic to people in the world. It's like I feel like I meet a stranger.
Everyone goes through so much, so you want to be able to relate.
Yeah, and I understand. Like obviously not everything, but to an extent, I can relate to people more because I've
You've been through
experienced.
traumas, right?
Exactly.
Right. Yeah.
I would tell myself like, honey, you need this. That's what I
Yeah.
would say. How about you?
I tell myself at my lowest, I do this thing. I'm sure everyone does it, but like I do this thing where when I'm feeling bad, like serotonin low
Yeah.
moment, I just feel like it's gonna be like that forever. You know what I mean? And I'm just like, I'm so wrapped up in that sadness at
Yeah.
the time that it just feels permanent.
Yeah.
And I like have gone through some dark times. And like at those dark times, I wish I could say like, dude, it's about to be so
It's
great.
temporary.
It's temporary.
Everything is temporary.
That's the message of the podcast.
That is.
Everything is temporary. Like you could be going through it and maybe it'll last like kind of a long time.
But it's not
But
forever.
it's not forever.
That's
That's what I've
huge.
learned.
That's actually very important for people to know.
and it's relative to different things, but like it's just like I wish I could be like, Scott, you're having a panic attack
Yeah.
about being closeted, but I promise you, if you just stay
Yeah.
focused and like and like keep trying and show up every day, that it could totally turn around.
Can you imagine how different if you could meet your 16-year-old self right now and show
Oh
them
my
what your
God.
life is?
I would- I would
I
be
get
like,
tingles.
look at me.
I get tingles. I feel like emotional thinking about that.
No, me
for
too.
you.
I would literally get right up in my face and I would be
Yeah.
like, okay, it's about to be rough. That's normal. A lot of
Yeah.
people go through rough shit.
I literally just got chills.
But I would be like, but just wait.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
No, it's so true. Okay, the last question is my favorite question of the whole podcast, which is what gossip can we share?
Oh, wow. That's just my favorite question you could ever ask.
So part of this podcast, just so everyone knows, because this first episode has been mayhem,
Yeah. I think we're just nervous and we're like talking as fast as we can.
that part of this is like not just to inspire you, but also to get you the gossip.
Yeah, get
because
you the
Scott
gossip.
and I live for it.
The piping hot tea, honey. No, I have so much gossip.
Do you?
Yeah, of course. I always have gossip.
Okay, well,
I'm one of those queens who's like, just tell me.
Yeah.
And they do.
and then now you're going to tell
Okay,
everyone.
you start.
And here's the thing, if we have to bleep out names, we can bleep out names.
Oh, that's
easy.
fun.
Smart.
Yeah.
That's
but
fun. I'm
this
going to
way-
hide behind this pop filter.
I feel like we don't need to bleep this out because I feel fine about it. I have an amazing, this isn't quite gossip because it happened like 6 years ago, but it's an amazing story. So the same Taddy that I feel like I'm going to talk about every episode 100 times.
You're in
which is
love
my
with
only
her,
friend.
and we're gonna get into that.
Let's get into it. Let's work on that for me because I would be so happy. No, she and I went to, so Maroon 5 is a Halloween party every year.
Right.
And
Do you still get invited, or is it like
I
now
do,
you're not?
I
on the
do
list?
still get invited, but it's less fun for me for sure. Taddy and I went to right when I first met Adam, we went and we were like literal teenagers, like actually like 19 years old, right? And we're at this Halloween party and we're like, everybody like complains that it's like so hard to make it, and like we're
We
making it.
made it.
Flash forward a decade. Anyway, but also because of a long story that's not worth telling, we went to the party with Lauren Conrad from The Hills.
LC.
Okay,
who I
wow.
love. I
Gay
thank
fave.
you. Yeah. And honestly, like I get more starstruck by reality stars because they're themselves. I was so starstruck.
Oh my
Interesting.
God, that's a really
Do you know what I'm
interesting
saying?
point.
Like an actor, I'm like, you're an actor. That's so cool. Like
It's a
you're so
talent you have.
talented.
You can
And
say.
we're having the time of our lives. Like we made it. Like Hollywood. We're having a great time. And we're standing with Lauren towards the end of the night. We're lit. And there's an In-N-Out truck. I'm like double fisting fries. Tattie's like a burger, half in her mouth.
Me
and we're
every
standing.
day.
We're standing with Lauren, talking to Topher Grace from that '70s show.
Topher.
And do you know him?
I mean,
Okay.
I said that like I've met him a couple times actually. We have the same social media guy.
Okay. Well, he's gonna hate this, but we were standing in a circle and we're like, oh my God, we made it. We're here with Lauren Topher. We're doing it.
Lauren and
In-N-Out.
Topher. That means you made it.
Yeah, and literally at one moment, we're having the time of our lives. Topher turns to his friend and goes, "Yo, dude, can you ask these fat chicks for some weed?" And then Topher turns to me and Taddie. No, Topher's friend turns to me and Taddie and goes, "Hey, do you guys have any weed?" And we're like, "No."
Oh no.
I cannot believe that.
I know. And honestly, all of our dreams came crashing. We're
my God.
we're in Hollywood, we made it, and they're like, oh, but everyone thinks we're fat.
First
Apparently.
of all, who says that? That's
I know.
so mean.
It was horrible. It was horrible. But such a funny story that it was so worth it. I'm not even offended. I'm like, that's a crazy thing to say and
Yeah.
so
But
ridiculous.
also, like, oh, who operates like that?
I
That's
know,
so
but
weird.
how
Can you imagine? I
amazing.
turned to Mark and was like, "Can you ask these fat?"
Also, like, ask us yourselves. We're right here. You know?
We heard you. Oh,
Anyway,
wow.
that's my story. I've been dying to tell you for weeks.
Oh my
Good
God,
story.
it was great. I also have gossip.
Great.
So we were on the Catch cruise,
Mm-hmm.
and we were like, we had like this like end of the cruise party in Kesha's suite, and we were all like drinking, having
Uh-huh.
fun, blah blah blah. And then like before you know it, it's 4 a.m. Everyone's left, and I'm like, Kesha, should we leave? Are we overstaying our welcome? She's like, no, stay. I was like, work, and we like authentically bonded. We were bonding,
Uh-huh.
and then all of a sudden I like look away, blah blah blah, and then I look back, and him and her are just like making out.
With Kesha. Isn't that crazy? She's a good kisser too.
I literally was like, sick.
Wait, what?
Yeah.
Yeah,
How'd that happen?
We were just vibing.
It was just one of those moments where you're all drunk and you're like,
I'm like moved by this story.
it was really crazy. First of all, she's an angel sent from
So
heaven. She's like one of the
nice.
nicest
Oh, I've
people
heard that.
ever met.
I've heard that.
She like reminds me of Kelly Clarkson. Like she's just like
Sweetheart.
super sweetheart.
cares.
Loves to tell story, cares. She's like, stay,
Down to
drink.
earth.
Do you need anything?
Good for you. Oh
Yeah.
my God.
Who can say that?
Not
Kesha
me.
In the Bahamas.
Wow, that is good gossip. You
I
guys are
know.
welcome. You are welcome.
I hope all our fans don't just tweet her. And she's like, what the fuck are they talking about?
We're like, Kesha, come on our podcast.
Her and Rabel should come on. Rabel,
That'd be fun.
Kesha.
Rabel, we want you both.
Okay, how do we wrap it up?
Okay, that's a good question.
We didn't have a plan.
I feel like
Bye.
I think here's what I need to say. I want to say that I'm going to listen back to this and feel really stressed out about it.
I think you're gonna feel great about it.
But I want everyone to stick with us because
Yeah,
if
yeah,
you've
yeah.
learned anything about me, I get better with practice.
Practice. I feel like you've done great.
So this podcast is a work in progress, guys. Everyone, are we into this?
Yeah, it's like when you watch season 1 of a show and it's
Exactly.
like
It's
not
like
that
you
good.
gotta
Right, we
pilot
talked
the
about
pilot.
Yeah, you don't even like
Yes.
revisit Sex in the City season 1 because
Yeah,
it wasn't
yeah,
good
yeah,
yet.
yeah. You
But
gotta
then
get to
it was
the-
Sex in the City after
There
that.
you go.
Yeah.
Okay, and the other thing I'm gonna say is let's not tell them, but like our guests are fire.
So good.
We have like
They're so good.
we have like
whole
Grammy
array.
winners.
Yeah.
We have
Full
like
array.
Olympians. We have like reality stars. Actors.
Actors.
Anyway, the point is keep tuning in. We're so excited. We're gonna just keep drinking and talking.
Which is what we've been doing for 9 years. Okay, I love
And
you
with
guys.
that, we love you guys.
We'll see you next time, or you'll hear us next time.
You'll hear us next time.
And high five.
Bye.
Bye.